Give me a second, guys. Let's set things up. And I'm with Xavier. Xavier, can you say hello?
Welcome, bro. Welcome, guys.
We need to fix things, so I thought I fixed it. So let's show the call. Give me a second. Let me also turn on the camera. And we kinda didn't start yet. People can hear me, but actually, yeah, they can see us now. Hey, everyone.
Hey. Well,
Yeah, let's do this. If you can hear us well, and if you can hear Xavier well, please confirm and give me a second to set things up as we should. So let's put this out. Making the stream window a little bigger. And there is something about what I am sharing here. What? Actually, I don't need to share my screen for now because we can. Actually, I do need to share my screen because we need to go through the Artstation post first. And we also need to see the chat. Hello, everyone. Hello. I hope all of you are doing great. Give me a second. This is the first time ever we go more than 2 people, more than 1 person. So I'm excited and also getting used to things. So apparently I cannot use this for the chat, but it's okay.
you're gonna be fun, guys. How is everyone?
You guys can hear Xavier well? I actually raised your voice more now. Mukhtar, Asim, Muhammad, Kinan, Khayal. Hello, everyone. Good day to all of you. I'm just setting things up so we ensure for the next 2 hours everything is going well. Your voice more. And I think things are looking good. Just doing the quality check.
Hey, Asim. I'm actually using path tracing. So it's basically like the Corona render engine. It's probably less good, but it's better than Lumen.
We can argue about that. Okay, what I'm going to do is to share my screen and give a little introduction about what we're doing today, and then I'm gonna introduce you, Xavier. Prepare your answers, but I'm gonna start from your art. So, if I do this, we can see the screen. That's good, kind of. Actually, yeah, that's good. But people cannot see me, so we can bring us here to the side. It's kind of janky stream setup, but it's kind of working great. So right now, Xavier, you two also on the screen, so you can say hello. Right now, we're getting started.
Hello, everyone.
Are you sleepy? You told me you're tired.
You're sleepy.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Xavier, thank you so much for joining me today. It's a pleasure, man. For all of you, I want to give the introduction about Xavier, but I also want to do that. I want you to do that for yourself. But from my perspective, I know you for many years. We work together on so many amazing projects, and we try to have this habit where we call and make something together. And this is one of them. We like so many projects we've done together. So if you want to tell the people here, everyone, about you as an artist, your background with Unreal Engine, and about this project in particular, how it happened, and what's the goal here today. what people can expect.
Hey guys, first, thank you so much for having me there. It's actually my first live on YouTube ever, so I'm super grateful to have you, bro. I'm super grateful to be there with you, man. We've been calling a lot these last years, but we actually never went live. So yeah, that's first time, and that's great.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing this for years actually, since we met. Like, hey, we should collaborate and do this together. And I know some of you, some friends, so we are now doing this, me and Xavier, finally. And
Yeah, thank you so much, bro, for having me.
thank you, dude. So we both share love for photography and brutalist architecture, and this is where the inspiration for this project and another project we practiced last year came from. And I really love your final result, dude. It's you nailed it. Like I look, I'm jelly. You know, I went in different direction where it's like red and similar to what I have here, but yeah.
That's what's amazing, bro. You took your own choices and you changed the first picture. I went more like just redoing the picture I was seeing, which is already amazing photography by Ben Harper. You can find him on Instagram. Really, really great photography, and I actually love photography, so it was really fun for me to just try to redo it as close as possible. But yours is great, bro. You went on another direction, and you gave it a super good twist
Thank you,
with the
Chief. But let's
urban
keep it about you.
graffiti.
I want to learn about the process you did here, and I'm trying to find the link to the source. Sorry for interruption, but I wanted to say for everyone who's following today, I will leave a link here later. And there are actually links in the description of the video to Xavier Artstation, to this artwork as well, where you can find this image and you can follow along with us today. Where Xavier, we're gonna go from the start. I have my version, but one of us have to do it on the screen, so it's gonna be a boy Xavier. So I want to show later what Behnam did actually to encourage more of you guys, but that's the whole purpose of today's stream is, and the upcoming streams as well. Xavier, we need to do more of this, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. We have a lot
Okay.
of spaces to create.
Hell yeah. So we're gonna choose images we like. Perhaps we can also kick off things on Discord where as a community we vote on something weekly or semi-weekly and do it, then go live with it and see where this takes us. So the whole goal is to explore Unreal Engine, to use Unreal as possible, as much as possible, or any tools we use. But yeah, just a background, all of this was done in Unreal Engine in your case too, Xav, right? You didn't use any other tool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
full Unreal, especially with the modeling tools.
Yep. Yep. 100% inside Unreal Engine, from the block out to the textures to the Quixel mega scans to the decals, the water, everything.
Yep, everything is in engine.
Hell yeah. So let me set things up and where we can see your screen and you can tell us more about whatever you want to tell us about.
Yeah, right.
So give me a second.
I guess we can start with the main steps to create a scene for me.
Wait a second, I'm just making the screen large. And chat, if you can confirm with me that you can see everything clearly, like in high quality, if text is readable. I'm resizing the window.
Yeah. I think my sound is very low.
Your sound is
Can you
very
feel?
low.
Yeah, it's been a few people saying it on the chat.
Okay, let me see if I can boost it, but you need to raise it from your sound as well. Try to say something.
Yeah, do you hear me better?
Oh my god, I hope I didn't.
It didn't kill them.
I hope I didn't kill everyone. Say something, Xavier.
Low. Do you hear me better? Is the sound louder?
No, it's not. From my side, I can hear it well. Still low.
Is
Okay.
the sound from Discord?
Hi, the sound is good. The image is low quality. So Xavier, if you can say like a whole few sentences just so people can hear you clearly, we can decide on this. Sing the
Okay, so
song.
do you hear me better? Is the image clear enough? How are you doing, guys? How are you listening to me?
I got a message that the screen quality isn't perfect, so let me make it full screen. Is the screen better
Um,
now, guys?
I can increase my share quality too.
Yeah,
Gonna
go
check.
ahead. Oh yeah, I see some difference when you increased.
I can. Yeah. Is it better? Yeah, Mohammed. Fast tracing indeed is a bit cheating, but it's actually super fast to render. So that's still a good compromise. It's actually like so much faster than cycles, which I love to use in Blender. But it looks good in Lumen too.
Yeah, it does. Okay, I'm setting things up, looking at the chat, and I'm glad you're answering the chat on your own, Xaf. Go ahead. Keep at it. Let me first start with pasting a link to your Artstation to the artwork. So copy.
One thing is a bit sad is that I think they cannot see when I open materials because it's another window. Yeah, they
Ah,
don't see it.
hmm.
Because I cannot turn my wall screen, it's too wide.
Yes, I remember that issue. Well, it's gonna be a pain switching windows, but we can try.
Yep. Let's see when it's useful.
Hello, Marcos. All right, Xavier, let's get started. When
Yep,
it
let's go.
when you started with this scene, if you would start from an empty level, how would you go about this? And that's my question. If you want to answer some other question or if you want to start somewhere else, you can do that. But yeah, can you tell us a little bit about this scene, about its components, and maybe you can create one from scratch for us if you prefer, as we discussed. It's up
Yep.
to you.
Okay, let's go. Let's try to keep it simple and fast. So basically, I tried to reproduce as much as I could the photography of Ben Harper by Harper. I don't know what's his name. So I started making a very rough blockout with squares. I think I can even show you because I did it. Blockout. Easy ball. Yes. Okay, this is this one. So basically, this was the main blockout. It was just to direct the rotation of the pillars that we did later.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
After that first blockout with just simple cubes that were all in Engine, we continued with the modeling tools in still in Engine too with the new modeling tools because in every version since version 5. They keep improving them and they are starting to be really good. So basically, we just did a cylinder for the first pillar, and then we used the pattern tool.
The pattern tool.
To
Can you show us a quick demo about the pattern tool? It was one of the interesting tools for sure.
yeah, sure. For example, this was the cylinder, and if you go into the modeling tools, you can go into the model. No, where is it? Xform. Okay, in Xform you can find the pattern tool. There is many ways to copy the mesh you have. You can change the axis here, and then you can space it either by count or either by size between each mesh. So if I put, for example, 500 between each mesh, it will be only 2. So I like to do it by count. Select, for example, I want 15, and then change the extent. And with everything I do in the modeling tools, I try to stay in the camera. So for example, we see everything that is related to the framing. So we keep the, for example, the size that is in the photography, like the real world scale. So let's go back in the camera. And then we can put, for example, here. Oh, I lost it. Yeah, it's not perfect, of course. It's not as easy as a modeling software, but it's still a great step forward. See, right now I can just change the pattern and see how it goes. So then you can just click on accept.
The pattern tool is really time saver. I'm glad they've added it. And there is something, I don't know if you've noticed on the screen itself, if you have that tool activated, it's like red little circles. So there are some screen controls as well, where you can control the spacing and whatnot. Have you seen it?
Yeah, let's do it again. Pattern.
Yeah, that one.
I think it's in the...
If you look at the right corner on the pillar, there is red thingy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can straight adapt it to your map. Or
I was like, wow, this is so cool.
If there is too much, you just reduce it. I guess you have to change that first. 15, let's do 5. Yeah, works really amazing.
Yeah. We have Ghost Reborn. I'm glad, man. I'm great. Thank you. How are you? So I'm wondering where is everyone is watching from? And Xavier, where are you now?
I'm in south of France, so I'm just 1 hour behind you. I know in the chat there is Mohammed, which is the boss of an amazing company called Sowen, and we are actually having big projects going on. So I'm really grateful Mohammed is here too. The France is represented.
Shout out to Muhammad, and to Ghost Reborn, and to Marcos, and to Kinan, and to Lace, and to Muaz, to Loreen.
Thank you so much, guys, for being there. What should we go on with Yahiya? Maybe we can break down this module.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you if somehow your scene got corrupted and everything like just disappeared. Would you start this from scratch for us?
Oh yeah, of course. Let's say I have a blue screen and the Unreal project disappeared.
So Unreal Engine did an Unreal thing and it reset your project and you have to create this from scratch. I'd love to see the process. I'm sure many people here would love to follow along with you. And yeah, so blue screen happened.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm sorry, guys, you're not gonna see the small menus that opens the window because Discord is only sharing the main Unreal screen. So I would just go with file new level, and we're gonna select a completely empty level. So here we are in the total darkness.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, welcome. I would say let's start with activating the env light mixer. So you can go into the window menu and check env light mixer. It's gonna open a window. I'd like to dock it somewhere. So this window is useful because you can very quickly, in a few clicks, create all the atmosphere. So I'm gonna start with the skylight.
I just want to interrupt you for a second. I think it didn't show when you clicked on the window, so also the menus that don't appear. Can you just do it real quick? Because there is something I can do about that for chat, for any special windows. When you open the environment light mixer,
Yeah, I docked it here.
can you close it and open it again?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. So yeah, you can duck it. I'm just gonna like just for a second. Sometimes I might stop you just to tell people where exactly something is by switching the screen like this, where it's still we see screen. I'm gonna open Unreal. So guys, to open the environment light mixer as just Xavier did, you go to window and you're gonna see it here, environment light mixer. And this here, Xavier usually duck it here. So I'm gonna switch back to you. Okay, sorry, you can continue.
Yeah, great. Thank you, bro. So yeah, window and light mixer. So yeah, I started with the skylight. Then you can create the atmospheric light, which is the sun. Sky atmosphere, which is the realistic Earth atmosphere. Aid fog, and we're not gonna use the volumetric cloud for now. So what I like to do after that in every scene is start to be organized straight, because it can really get messy very quickly. So I would start with a folder called AA, because the outliner keeps it in alphabetical order. So I will always start with AA scene setup. And inside this one, you can put everything like the main lighting of the atmosphere, your player start, your main camera if you have only one, and go on and go on. So yeah, that's nice. We have an atmosphere now.
Yeah.
I would continue with creating like another folder, which we can call it B, so it's under, and block out. So in this one, we're gonna be able to create the first shapes of our scene. So now you have two possibilities. You can either quickly add some shapes here. I guess you don't see it.
We cannot see this one, yeah.
It's okay. We're gonna straight do it in modeling tools.
Hell yeah.
So I would go into here, click on selection mode, and then you go into the modeling.
Let me just quickly show it, the modeling tools on my screen.
Yeah, I was going to say you can
Yeah.
you can show the plugins, bro, because sometimes when you start the scene, the plugin is not enabled.
Okay. So I switch now to my screen, and if you go to edit plugins, here you can search for modeling and you can find modeling tools editor mode. If you enable this, restart your engine. And for most Unreal 5 projects, it's enabled by default, but let's say it's not. Enable this, restart your engine, then go to where you select the engine modes, or press Shift 5 to switch to the modeling mode. 99% the shortcut for this is Shift 5. And I'm gonna switch now back to Xavier's screen where you guys can see the modeling tools in action.
Thank you, brother, for showing. So yeah, let's start with just a simple box. So we're gonna do the floor. Let's just put it in the middle. So in Unreal, the unit is centimeters. So 100 by 100 is basically 1 meter. So let's do the floor like 10 meters by 10 meters. And I would say 10 centimeters height, and then click on accept. Don't bother with the UVs for now, because in the last modeling updates, I feel like they added it automatically. Like you don't need to change it if you change the size. So yeah, I would align a few boxes. So right now the snapping tool is on 5. So I don't have to bother exactly to stick it. I'll try to do that very quickly. Yeah, so that's good. A first thing to have, which is very important in your scene, is a human scale. Otherwise, you're gonna do some shapes that you don't really know what they are equal to. So to get a quick human scale, you can go into the engine content. So if you don't see the engine folder here, like me, you have to go here in the, I don't know if you're gonna see it, but in the settings in the content browser, the settings wheel, and you just have to check show engine content.
I'm
I
gonna
would
show
also
it
check
on my
show
end,
plugin.
if that's okay.
Yeah, let's show it.
So when we are content drawer, content browser, settings, here we have content, show engine content, show plugin content. So these two usually should be enabled for extra spicy content. Back to you, Xavier.
Thanks, bro. Okay, so in the engine content, I would search for tutorial, and if you go down, there is always this tutorial character that is very old in the engine, but
Nice.
it
These are
still
so
does it
old, yeah.
because yeah, but it still does it because it's the right size, you know.
This is
So
actually
basically,
faster than adding the first person or third person characters, and it's just there. So I didn't know
yeah,
this. Now I do. Thank you. Keep going. Sorry.
no problem, bro. If for some reason you don't have this one or you have a empty project, you can just create a box and you can do it 60 by 60 by 180, which is basically like the size of a human
Yeah,
people.
but for me, something about humans just help me estimate the scale of
Yeah,
my scene better. I use boxes, but to be honest, something about this guy doing this is just
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It helps see the width also for doors and everything. Okay, so we have a good start. Let's create then a camera, which is the third more important things, because basically if you create a scene just to make a picture or a movie, you don't want to create everything that you don't see in the camera, otherwise you're gonna work a lot for nothing. So having a camera very early in the scene is actually super useful. So let's go into the little bars in the menu in the corner of the viewport. I'm gonna do create camera here and select the Cine camera actor. To process it, I'm gonna click on perspective and select it, the Cine camera actor 0.
Let me quickly show that, just in case. So to create a camera, we can go to the quickly add to the project, cinematic, cine camera actor. You can click it and place it in the scene. And to process any camera in the scene, if you click here on perspective, as many cameras as you have in your scene under placed cameras, you can click on the camera and set the angle you want to design from. So back to you, Xavier.
Great. So I'm now processing the camera. What I would do first is select the camera in the outliner, and in the detail panel, I would I would choose the format. If you do for Instagram or something like that, you can put it vertical. So you have to change in film back the sensor width and the sensor height. I'm gonna keep it horizontal for now, and then you can change the focal length. So for the film cameras, basically, I'm gonna choose 35 millimeters, which is a very common focal length in film industry. Then I'm gonna move my camera to position it. By the way, guys, there is a super useful shortcut that I'm using right now to move everything. Is so for example, when you select an object, you can move it with the gizmo, but you can also move it by holding Control and either clicking on the left mouse button or the right mouse button or both. So leftmost button is this axis, which is what axis is it?
The X.
The x-axis, yeah. And then rightmost button is the y-axis. And if you click on both with control, then you can move it vertically.
That's a very good one. So hold control, then left mouse button, right mouse button, or both to move actors without selecting the gizmo.
Yeah, that's a really, really useful. Okay, let's go back to framing our scene. So I'm gonna go back to my camera. I like to keep things very square. So in my camera, I'm gonna be sure I have 0 in the rotation, 0, 0, and 180. So things are really well framed. Then I'm gonna click on the camera, right click, transform, and lock actor movement. So every time I'm gonna forget that I use the camera, it's not gonna move.
I need to show that. So every time I think you right click, I need to show it. But I'm not gonna do it always, but this one is important. So I'm sharing my screen now. So there is something very important when you're creating your camera, and especially if you're taking like work in progress screenshots, or you just don't want to move it accidentally, because there are many scenarios where you move your camera accidentally, you cannot press Ctrl Z, and it's annoying. So in order to protect the position and rotation of your actor, and it can be anything, not only cameras, you can right click, then go to transform, then lock actor movement. And now the gizmo disappeared, and if we go inside the camera and we try to move, we cannot move, it's totally locked. If I switch to other camera that is not locked, so let me click here and switch to this camera, I can move it. Until I right click, go to transform, sorry. Can you work please? It's bugged. Yeah, I'll
Welcome
switch
to
back to
Unreal.
you to your view. They get it. I hope you did. I'm sure you did. Hell yeah.
Thank you, bro. You're the teacher
you.
here. So yeah, let's go back. So let's keep things organized too. Don't forget to put your objects in the folders in the outliner, so everything is well tidy up. Okay, so there is one thing you can do if you want to display the reference is actually importing the picture of your reference in the editor, the content. So I already have it. It's in.
You do?
Oh, I don't have it. Fuck. Okay, let's create it. So let's create a new folder and call it materials. You can even put it in green so you see it very quickly. So right click, set color, new color, and you can put it green because materials are green. Then let me drag and drop my picture.
Color coding folders based on how assets are colored in Unreal is actually smart. This is a good one.
Yep. It helps seeing them quickly. Photograph. Okay, so I'm gonna import my picture in this folder, and I'm gonna do another folder to keep things organized, which I'm gonna call reference. I'm gonna put the texture inside. And with that reference, I'm just gonna create a material. Right click, create material. I'm gonna call it mref. With that selected, I'm gonna create a box here, which is approximately the size of the image, so 564 by 705. 564 by 705. And the 8. Okay, this is the 8.
I feel I need to show quickly
64.
when we hover over the texture the dimensions, so just people can follow along.
Yeah, okay, let's do it, bro.
So what you did is importing any texture, I don't have the texture on my end, but if I find any texture, so I'm gonna enable the filter and go to material, or just type texture.
Basically, I imported the photo reference.
Yeah. So right now I have, if you hover your mouse over any image, you can see there is dimensions, and in this case it's 8K, this image I'm hovering my mouse on top. So in order to, just like in any 3D software, we try to get as close as possible to the dimensions of an image. When you create that image in a 3D program like Xavier is doing here, so he's as close as possible to the aspect ratio. Back to you, Xavier. You can assign the texture if you want and keep going.
Great. So this box is only gonna be a like a reference for the photo. So we're gonna go into details and uncheck the its shadow. I'm gonna look for shadow. We're gonna be faster. I'm gonna uncheck cast shadow, and I'm gonna assign the material to it. You're not gonna see the material, but I'm gonna put it in emissive, so it's not dark. Maybe you can show Yahiya. Just change the pin to emissive in the material.
I can show it, yeah. If you can send me the texture on Discord, maybe I can show the same, or let me quickly do.
I'm gonna send you. Yep, I sent you.
You said you did?
Yeah, just right now.
Thank you, sir. Let me just import it. BC froze. Thank you very much.
What I did is also add a multiplier node, so we can control the emissive power.
Give me a second. Multiplier?
Yeah, just
Okay.
multiply the emissive.
So I'm gonna recreate the same as you did, but for me, instead of a box, actually, yeah, box, why not? So you made dimensions of the box 500, 700, yeah?
It will, let me
Kind of.
check. 564 by 705.
I did something close. It might be a little stretched on my end, but we will see. So I click.
Yeah, it's not too important, to be honest.
Exactly. So assigning the texture, for some reason it's not working. And is this a crash? Oh yeah, it's a crash. The engine crashed on my end.
Damn. Okay, you can put on mine.
Happens. Thank you, Andre. So it's not even loading. Actually, you can send me a screenshot of the graph and I can show it on the screen. That will make it easy.
Okay, let's do
for
it.
For this one.
Up. Here you go.
Oh, thank you very much.
Now we have a bottom one, we have a timeline. A timeline is a relative timeline. It's a very important thing that we did to make sure that...
Okay, so you have the texture sample. It's assigned to scalar parameter with multiply node to the emissive input. So you can increase the intensity so you can see it in a dark environment. Thank you.
Okay,
this is good.
That's good. By the way, I just recreated the box because I inversed the height and the width. So
happens.
I just inversed and now it's good. It's the full right size of the picture. Okay, so let's go back to our Cine Camera actor. and we can put it there, so we always have like the reference in front of us. So, by the way, yes, we could have kept the horizontal box. That was wrong because we're gonna do it horizontal. Anyway, that's not too important.
Go for it.
Let's switch it again. 564. Okay. Uncheck shadow. Apply Miterai. And here you go. Okay. This is just a reference anyway. Okay, so I would say next step is continue the blockout. So what I'm gonna do is create another box and just I'm gonna exit the camera. And I would just keep it like that, rotate it. Okay, for some reason my snapping on the angle is deactivated. Let's put it back up. Let's set 10 on the grid. I can also reduce the camera speed because it's too high. So you can either go down with your mouse wheel, either change it here. Yeah, 45 is good. Let's duplicate that. This is just a guide for the pillars next time.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, is this how many units or meters these boxes are as a guide?
So these ones are
About 7.
yeah, 705 and 564 large. It's not too important. What's important is when you scale it after. So let's go back into our camera. For now, I feel like this is good. And otherwise we can still lower the sailing later, so it's okay. Don't forget to extend a bit the camera behind you, because if you move the camera for your scene backwards, then you will still have some margin in your scene. What we can do now is duplicate. Put you on the other side. Go back to your camera. We can uncheck shadows. So I think how large the scene is good. Let's stop a minute and analyze our reference. So what we see in our reference is that after maybe 100 meters, it starts doing a curve and going to the right. So we need basically to do that curve. So there is many ways to do it. Maybe we can do it in the modeling tools. By the way, there is maybe one solution to do it faster. Like maybe you can just select one and extend it like that.
For the blockout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The faster the better.
Yeah. It's gonna be the straight one that has no curve. And on this one we're gonna do the curve. So let's select this mesh and go into the modeling tool. So I was already in the modeling mode. What you can do is we're gonna look for the lattice. So in deform, you can click on lattice. So as you see, it's adding subdivision to the mesh. If you select, for example, the extremity, oh yeah, our mesh doesn't have enough subdivisions because the lattice needs subdivisions. Otherwise, your mesh can't bend. So we need to take our mesh and actually subdivide it. Maybe remesh. Yeah, in the remesh tool you can, but 5000 triangle is too much. So let's aim for 200 maybe. maybe 200, so we have more like vertical subdivision, vertical cuts. I didn't use too much this tool, but there might be a way to not do this kind of geometry. Maybe if we can go higher, yeah. Let's go higher. Let's put 500.
So now you are retopologizing the mesh, yeah? You're adding more.
And
awesome.
I guess there is probably a very much more simple way than remeshing it with the maybe like triangle edit, or maybe there is a way to cut it, plane cut, subdivide. Okay, there is subdivide here. So let's do it again. We'll click, duplicate this one, and then in the model section, we click on subdivide. Okay, this is Catmull Clark. You're gonna make the corner round, so let's change to bilinear. And subdivision level gonna be like 4 maybe. They don't show the topology, so I guess it's still gonna work. Generated bilinear. Okay, let's just try like that.
If you switch to wireframe mode, maybe we could see.
Oh yeah. Damn. Thanks, got your ear, bro. Yeah, okay, so now we have a uniform subdivision of the mesh.
Nice.
So that's cool. That's what exactly we were looking for. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Okay, let's go back to the deform, lattice.
So I'm sorry, I just need for you to do that again. If you can hold any mesh like without extra subdivisions, and show us before with the wireframe and then after with the same modifier. Just a recap on this for everyone.
Okay, let's delete it again. So we duplicate your mesh. Basically this mesh. Oh, okay, it applied it. Let's do it with a new mesh. So let's create a new box. Let's put it. Okay, 8 gonna be like
as it is, like just the modifier, its location and its name. Sorry. So here we have a box.
Okay, I'm just gonna put like 3000 in 8, 3200, perfect. Let's rotate it, and now you can show the wireframe. So as you can see, there is only 2 polygons. So that's 6 triangle. Oh, a bit more because of course there is thickness. But now if we do it in wireframe mode, so it was in model subdivide. Now you can see that.
Nice.
If we put 3, it's a bit less, 2, 1, just 1. Okay, 4 is good. You can accept, and now you have it. Now we can do the lattice. So go to deform, click on lattice. And lattice is a bit the same. You can choose how you want it to be cut. So how many subdivisions you want. For example, here I'm gonna check on 7. It should be pretty much equal to what we have under, because the lattice is basically an empty box, like a transparent box with some geometry that you're gonna use to deform the mesh you want. Okay, I click on OK, but you have to deform it first. So let's select the vertex we want to move. Basically, we want a curve, so let's select the extremity. And as you can see, it moves only the extremity, as we can expect. So I think we can use soft deformation, budding. I think there is some tools to make it bigger, to make the pivot bigger. I'm not sure where exactly it is.
What is it you're looking for?
How is it called in Blender? You know, when you select one point and it gradually selects what's after.
Soft selection.
On the distance. Yeah, soft selection. It's called that.
I think that in Nux.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Let's just do it like that.
Do we have soft selection in Unreal? Did you experiment with it? It would be awesome if you do.
Let's try with less subdivision. Still works. Anyway,
There
let's
is
do it
an
like
option
that.
called soft deformation. Do you think it could be or no? Oh,
No, it keeps everything, so it doesn't deform.
maybe that one
Just-
has some sort of like not atmosphere, but some sort of value. So there are constraints under
Constraint is
deformation
to keep
itself.
it from moving.
Yeah, when you enabled it with soft deformation and moved it, it moved everything. So, okay. Interesting. I'm just like interested in what things we have in the tools, but yeah.
Yeah, anyway, let's not lose too much time and
Yeah, go.
we're
Keep
gonna do it
going.
like that.
I'll put timer for you.
Thank you. Okay, so let's move it. Okay, there is still constraint. Oh, this is the soft deformation. Let's uncheck soft deformation. Okay, let's move that like that. So here there is a quick tip, which is very important when you use the lattice, is that when, for example, you move it like that, the way I did, the face here is not really rotating in the good direction. So what you can do in the extremity is do a little rotation there. So if you don't do it, the mesh gonna be like thinner and more deformed. So doing that, the rotation is aligning the vertex better and keeping the thickness. Let's do it here to continue. So basically we want, we can do it in unlit because the shadow create really difficult to see. We can go into the Nima camera actor. Let's hide the picture. Okay, let's rename the picture because it's called box and we don't see which one is it. So we're gonna call it reference and put it in the scene setup. I'm gonna accept the lattice and see how it goes. I feel like this is a bit too far away, so let's make this one bigger. Yeah, basically we have our corridor with the curve. So let's get back to the scene actor. This is actually super dark. It shouldn't be super dark because we have the skylight. Atmosphere.
Yeah, it's kind of dark.
The atmosphere. I think it's in the.
Stay hydrated, everyone. Drink water. You too, Xavier.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I have my bottle there. Let's try to boost the skylight. Oh, you know what, by the way, let's add a post-process volume, so it's gonna make things easier for later.
Yeah.
Visual effect and post-process volume. Let's try check the extent box, otherwise you're not gonna see the effects. And then we can hide it behind me using the control and mouse click pocket.
Is it something is off?
Oh, okay. Just for now, we keep it at 10, and we will tweak the lighting later anyway, because lighting is not the first thing to check. That's weird that it's so dark here. Anyway, we have our curve. So let's continue with the walls on the right. So I would say we can even duplicate the curve and have the same here on the right and on the left. I feel like this one is not long enough, So let's scale it a bit on the x-axis. Other way. Okay, so I think our blockout is getting in good shape. Let's extend the floor. And then just for the sake of the light later, we can keep going with the extend just a bit. I would say like this. Yeah, this is so weird. This thing is black.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? Let's create a material, a simple material. Yeah, maybe you can show also. So I'm just gonna create a simple material called m_simple. I'm gonna open it
Okay.
and right click.
I'm gonna do it
Do
on
a
my
constant.
screen. Just follow you.
Yep. Put it white and plug it to the base color.
So to create the material, right click, material m_simple, and then what you did to it?
You open it, you add a constant for node to select the color. You put it white.
Okay. So constant color or vector parameter for the color on the base color, and give it the color white.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, it's gonna be the most simple material ever.
Okay.
So everybody can learn it.
Okay. Back to you then.
Yeah. It seems I have a good bug. I can real nose.
Try to restart the engine if you have a bug.
I feel like it might be also maybe some normals.
Oh.
And by the way, guys, we didn't even save our level. This is not good. So we need to create a map folder, but I have already one. So I'm gonna call Yahiya live here 001B. But next scene is gonna be called spaces, I guess, right? Okay, yeah, this was the normals.
Normals. Oh.
So guys,
So how
if
did
you
you
see
fix
that,
it?
yeah. So you need to select your mesh. This kind of black like color and some glitches inside. You can see that there is an issue with the normals. So I went into the attrib in the modeling modes, attribs, normals, and then recompute normals is automatically checked. So you would just have to click on normals and it would be automatic. If it's not, then you can try fix inconsistent normals, which is working too, and then accept. Since this one is an instance because we duplicated it, it works too. It changed it. Let's apply this white thing everywhere so we can see better. But if you do so, keep in mind that the white reflect more light. So if you plan to put concrete later, you should keep things simple and gray because otherwise you're gonna see more light than there will be with the concrete material.
So we should go like with neutral gray. It's what you're saying.
Yep. Yep. Also, one thing we can do is also open the material and tweak the white thing we did. So I'm gonna put it gray. That still looks white, but in fact it's gray.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a blockout.
Okay, guys. So I guess we can go into serious things now with our first pillar. What do you think, Yahiya?
Looking good. Let's go with the pillar.
So for our first pillar, okay, let's organize.
I'm excited to see how you're gonna take this scene where it looks like an empty canvas, right? This is the thing about Unreal projects where you start from the dark side, you add your atmosphere, you've added the human character, your reference photo and the block out. So this is so far exciting, and keep going.
Yeah, bro, this is actually
Process.
it can look, yeah, it's the process. Maybe sometimes it can look a bit boring to do the first block out. You want straight to put meshes and works and materials, but it's actually super important to do a very good framing and a very good scene in the step by step. Okay, so I feel like we're gonna hide this reference picture. The curve looks closer than it is, but I feel like it's because of its height. Let's try to do the pillars and see how it goes. Because there is never one thing working straight, of course, guys. There is only trial and error and research. Okay, so let's create straight our cylinder. I'm gonna put it there. Once you click on the floor, you can switch the size. We're gonna choose the same height as the boxes, which are 10 meters, I think. I'm gonna put 1000. I think the thickness is good. If you look at the reference picture, like these pillars looks pretty thick.
Yeah, they are.
Like 1.50 meters of diameter, probably. I feel like radius 50 centimeters. Okay, let's move our body here to put it aside the pillar. Yeah, I feel like the pillar is not even big enough. So let's try to make it bigger. Like radius can be maybe 100. Oh, it's 75. So we cut the pillar in half. Okay. I feel like this is way too narrow, as you can see with the reference. And here it takes all the importance of the reference. You can see. We can see that it's too narrow.
Yeah.
So let's move our walls there. Let's make a group so we don't have to select them all by one every time. Okay. It doesn't matter where you put the reference, in fact, because this is just for you to see and keep an eye on it. Okay, so let's validate it like that. Or maybe it's maybe a bit too much. Let's get it a bit back. And of course we need to move the camera, which is in the middle. Not in the middle anymore. So let's select the camera. Right click, transform, and uncheck lock actor movement, because we locked it before. So now I can move. Let's do it like that. And let's lock it again. Just gonna reestablish.
I used to have a shortcut to lock it and unlock it, but for some reason it stopped working. I want to tackle it another time.
Yeah, you need to. Actually, putting shortcuts in the editor preferences is great. It's a good thing to save time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna group my floors. And
so to group, you press Ctrl G, right?
Yeah, I just right click group, or you can Ctrl G. I think ungrouping is Ctrl Alt G. Let me check.
It's Ctrl G and Shift G to ungroup. I use it a lot.
Yeah, that's good, bro. You save time. I actually don't use them a lot.
I love shortcuts. I have like tables of shortcuts. I write shortcuts. I'm crazy about shortcuts.
I'm gonna create another folder inside the blockout called floor. So every time I need it, I know that the floor is here.
Nice.
And then this, the other one's gonna be the walls. There you go. and wall's gonna be in the blockout.
I think the wideness now is good.
Yep. The height might be not good anymore, but let's check that later.
I think the height
need
of the
to
pillars,
run.
like the 10 meters, is kind of what I also went with. I think I went for 10 or 11 meters. Yeah, good stuff.
Oh yeah, let's just extend this again. This part really doesn't matter a lot because anyway, it's gonna be hidden. It's just as a template for our pattern because we're gonna use the pattern tool again to bend our pillar repetition. So let's start it. We have our pillar. Let's go into the X form and I'm gonna save it first because we never know what can happen. Once you apply something, it's destructive. So let's have a backup. I'm gonna also make a folder called pillars. So everything we're gonna create after gonna be straight in this folder. Okay, in Xform you can click on pattern, and then you can move them here. So for the size between each pillar, I would go into the Cine camera and try to analyze our reference picture. So if I get it closer. Okay, my control shortcut doesn't work because we are in the modeling tools. So if we analyze the picture, we can see only one space between the two first pillars that we can see through. Otherwise, every pillar is really, we don't see the landscape behind it. So let's try to keep that spacing. And in the one in the ends, we can see a bit through it. So let's try to use that as reference. Okay, as you can see here, I'm in the camera and this is too much. The space is too much. I'm gonna increase the count, of course, maybe something like 15, and move the extent. We're gonna tweak it. I would keep a good bunch of pillars behind the camera because it's gonna be good for lighting. Okay, so if I put it approximately here, I feel like there is too many pillars comparing to the picture. So I'm gonna reduce the count to 12 and reduce the extent a bit. Maybe a bit more, 8,000. Okay, let's accept it like that and check it. So let's try to move it. I would say this is like it's good. Let's keep it like that. I'm gonna duplicate it to put them in front. And now gonna be the fun part. We're gonna have to do the curve with those pillars.
Show me.
So let's do it. You remember when we first did it?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So okay, let's have a backup. I'm gonna choose this one. So we want first to really tackle the curve and go as close as the curve as we can. So we're gonna rotate the pillars like that. Maybe just a bit more. If it's too much, just uncheck the rotation snapping because it can be annoying sometimes. Okay, I guess this is okay like that.
I think you used bend, right?
I used what?
Did you use bend or something else to do the curve?
I used the lattice, I think. Yes, I did.
Ah, okay. That also works.
Yeah.
Many ways to do it.
Yeah, there's actually many ways to do it. You can even take one pillar and duplicate it with the end. Sometimes it can save you time. But the pattern tool is really something you should learn because it can be super useful for maintaining like equal space between your repetition. If you do architecture or anything, that can be good. What I see here is that my pillars are actually too much have too much space. So let's just retake it quickly. I think we can use the pattern again. Oh, okay. It creates the pattern with the already copied mesh. So let's do it with the pattern again, with the main pillar, the alone one. I already used the pattern, and I'm gonna use this one. They're gonna work better. Might be too much, we're gonna see after. Don't forget, guys, this is trial and error. So I should have put more repetition, but let's try it like that. Come as close as you can from the mesh. Checking the camera. Okay, I guess it's good. Let's try it. And use the... Okay, I'm gonna keep one backup. And let's deform. Okay, you cannot use the lattice tool because in fact the pattern tool you used created instances. So right now you feel like you have one mesh, but you have actually here in the instance, as you can see in the detail, you have actually a copy of one pillar 10 times. So what you can do is, well, what you need to do is actually split those meshes. So you can split the instances and then we can merge it as one mesh. So we can do into Xform, split. I'm gonna put them in one folder first. Split, accept, and it didn't work. Oh, output type you have to put static mesh, I think. Nope, it didn't work. Okay.
Unreal is being Unreal.
Yeah, no, that's just modeling tools. We are not super used to it. Okay, that was harvest instances. So now, as you can see, we have...
Wow, that's interesting.
Pillars. Yep. So let's select them all now. Is it good? Yep. Let's select them all and now what we can do. Okay, where is he? Oh. Okay, they are not in the
Yeah, exactly.
outline.
What is this? What's happening?
That's super weird. Okay, yeah, now we are in Unreal.
It says instance and then there's transform. So the details, even the details, like its icon, it looks interesting. And then there is these two arrows on the first time I see them. It's like a button.
Yeah, that's super weird. Oh, maybe we can convert this one. Let me check. Let me keep a backup. Convert it. Oh, we can actually merge it now.
Exactly, by the way, I wanted to say that.
Okay, this is so weird.
You
we
can
actually
combine them.
can do it now. We couldn't 1 minute earlier, but now it worked. So what you have to do is select the pattern mesh you did. This one is the same one we had as instances, as you can see here. And you click on merge. We're gonna merge the instances into one static mesh that we have here. I think this is a total glitch, so we're gonna try to delete them. I hope we can do.
Can you delete? Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
You can.
Okay, so let's do what we wanted to do with this one. So now we can use the lattice tool because this is only one static mesh. So lattice, and I don't like the way it is as a box. I wanted a line, so let's cancel it. And maybe we can Let me try something first.
I think you need to reset the rotation or, yeah, exactly, rotate the pivot.
Okay, it didn't work. Transform. Nope. Set pivot mode. Oh, that's so weird. The pivot is not moving.
It's kind of rotating. You can see that on the left corner, but it's visually not visible, so that's kind of useless. Wow,
Oh,
look at
it's
that.
working now. Yeah, this is really common in Unreal. So when something doesn't work, sometimes you just exit and do it again, and sometimes
And
it
it
works
works.
again. And here you go. You have actually a better lattice now.
Good
So,
one.
right? Yeah, thank you, bro. So, okay, let's try to do it as we did before. So as you can see here, it deforms the columns. And this is why I explained you that if you do rotate the extremity, it keeps the shape
Nice.
more like we want.
As much as possible.
So let's try to move it like a bit more like that. Rotate it. We're gonna move this one then, this section. And this is the same for the middle section. You can actually rotate it to keep it things good. And for here, try not forget some vertices in the bottom and in the top. Otherwise, you're gonna have a weird shape. And here we go. We have a curve. So I feel like we can also move this one.
You keep going. I'm going to bring water and come back.
Okay, that's good, bro. Stay hydrated. And here we go. Let's check our camera. And I feel like we are good. So as we saw in the reference, as we analyzed 20 minutes ago, here in the end we can see inside the pillars, inside the space. So we're gonna have to do the background, but yeah, we are pretty good. Let's check in the camera. Yeah. I feel like here could be a bit more, like, yeah, there is probably too much pillars here. Oh, it's because I had my double thingy. So I'm gonna just put it aside. And we are pretty good. Maybe this one too. Okay, I guess now we can tackle the sailing. So don't forget to save, guys, because Unreal, of course, is crashing very often. Especially in, of course, like every software in big projects with a lot of polygons and a lot of objects, a lot of things to load, and depending on your graphic card and RAM also. The more VRAM you have, the better. Here we can just try to tweak it a bit to align it better with the last pillar of the straight line. But I guess this is gonna be good like that. Let's save again. So for the pillar, we need to analyze our reference again. So what we can see, I would do that in Photoshop honestly if I could, because I like to circle and to highlight what I see, the volumes I see. So we are lucky because it looks very simple. It's only cubes, aligning cubes. So that's basically what we're gonna try to do. One thing which is important is actually respecting the architecture, the real life structures. So here we can see that the columns looks like to come either on top of the pillar, either just in front. So we're gonna try to keep things with the same spaces as the columns. So for that, we can straight go into modeling mode and add a box again. So this one is really not good. Let's try to do it with the end without thinking too much first. And what is good is that you can move where you place it before even validating, so that's very useful. Let's extend it again. So the width is locked to 1000, but if you type with the keyboard, you can actually extend it. Okay, let's try 1600. Let's try to align it with the columns. Good, that looks pretty good to me, like this. Now we need to see the depth of it.
Hey, I'm
You
back.
can also uncheck.
Just
Hey,
be with you in a
welcome back, bro.
minute.
Yeah, I'm going on with the sailing. Okay, that seems pretty good to me. Let's try to be as close to the pillar as possible, because a few units gonna make a difference with the pattern. So let's accept it like that for now. Let's analyze the structure again. Gonna be on top. So now we need to do those beams. So for the beams, I would just say another box, which is the same. I would just reduce the depth.
Are you
Like
building the ceiling now?
Yep. Trying to match it. So I'm trying to align it with the first piece we did. Here we go. So this one can be even duplicated right now. Damn, this is really dark. I don't know if there is an issue. Oh, it's not the normals. Maybe I'm gonna.
I had the same problem. I had to increase the light bounce from the directional light.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same. Is the samples?
No. If you go to the, just remove this.
Yep.
The search, go to advanced. So yeah, sorry, be above advanced, indirect light intensity is set to 1. Above advanced, there is volumetric scattering intensity, and above it, there is indirect lighting intensity. So this one. Hello?
It doesn't seem to move.
What the hell? Why your Unreal is being Unreal? Why? Can you talk to it?
Yeah, please, Unreal. Don't complicate our lives.
You need to talk to it. Epic.
We need to be gentle. Global illumination, lumen. Maybe we can try to get better things here. Lighting. No, I don't think it's the right thing to do for now. Skylight, maybe we can. Yeah, this is actually weird. Let's keep it for now. We're gonna figure out these kind of issues later.
Oh, I wonder if I was talking to myself for the past 20 seconds. I don't know. Was I?
I think so, bro. I'm sorry.
I told you it's so easy to click on the mic and mute myself. I was talking to the guys in the chat. Talking over you and you like,
That's cool. Okay, so what we need to do now is those small cubes, repeating them. So I'm gonna count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Amur, welcome, Habibi.
11, 12, 13.
Today here we are with Xavier recreating an artwork. I pinned a link to the finished artwork in the description to Xav, and in his turn he put a link to my practice. So thank you, Xav. And so far so good. I like your breakout. Thank you. I'm glad
it's going well.
for the fake crash. So we do this from scratch. So for anyone who's interested, guys, the whole purpose of this stream is to try creating an Unreal Engine from scene from a reference photo with your artistic view. The reference photo is in the link fully with Unreal Engine. So you're only allowed to use Unreal Engine, the 3D modeling tools, and Quixel Maya scans, of course. So yes, these are the rules. And if you create something, you can share on Discord. Actually, Xav, we shared on Artstation and Facebook and Instagram, but we forgot to share on Discord. So we should share on Discord as well and see what is your own take. So far, I know there is me, Xavier, and our friend Behnam, who made a scene from this. And if you guys create a scene from this as well, just, wherever you post this, send me, show me. I want to see it. Discord, Instagram, any place.
Yeah, guys, go for it and show us. We're gonna be impressed.
So keep going, Xavier. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So just to explain you a bit, guys, what I did here is basically duplicated these two beams. I reduced them to do the little cubes. There are two objects. So what I did is in the modeling tools in Xform, I clicked on merge. So if you click on merge, then accept, you now have only one object. And with this new one object, I did the pattern that we used now many times. And I tried to just match the reference with these cubes there. So it's very useful and fast. And now we need only one last thing, which is the beams, the small beams there. So what I'm gonna do is just duplicate these. I think I'm gonna put it up, sailing. And okay, we need only one side. So what I can do here is actually with the tools we have, because we have a lot of tools in the modeling tools, and there is a lot that are very useful for everything we need. So let's try to find it. Now what I want is select those meshes on the side, on this side, and delete them. So we keep only the left side. So let's try to find it. I think it's probably around here. Oh, we need first to apply the
merge.
To merge, yes. Okay, now it's merged. We can actually edit. Okay, so we have many things here. We have polygroup, and then in the mesh we have tree select and triangle edit. I feel like it can be in polygroup. Yeah, so maybe if I do that. Yeah, good. It's selecting back faces. And then we're just gonna click on probably delete faces. Cannot delete current
For
selection.
some reason,
okay.
in the poly group, it doesn't work. So for me, when I want to delete stuff, I prefer to use the triangle stuff.
Okay, let's do it then. Triangle edit. And delete. Where is the delete button? Okay, there is no delete button. Oh,
they keep hiding it.
Yeah, they hided some small things, but we're gonna find them.
There is other mode in the triangle select itself. If you go back to the mesh, there is triangle select on the left, tab left. Yeah.
We select.
From here, you have the option to delete, assuming you've selected everything.
Okay, it worked. Great.
But I wish we have delete in the other modes, because I think in the other modes we don't have delete.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. Okay, so now we can make our little beams there.
Amor is saying there is. It's called delete faces. Maybe we just didn't see it.
There was one I tried and it said cannot delete in this mode, or I don't know what.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, let's try to match this. So we want it to not go more far away than the mesh, because it's gonna make a difference when we're gonna use the pattern tool again. So let's reduce it. Okay, that's good. I don't use it often, but if you click on this little button in the corner of the viewport, you can actually have the 2D views. So you can work here to align what you need to align.
It's a sometimes button.
Is what?
I'm saying it's a sometimes button.
Yeah.
It's an every now and
in
then.
Case of, yeah, the in case of button. Okay, so here we go. We have our kind of weird concrete beam sailing with this weird shadow on the mesh again. I don't know what's happening with this thing.
As hard correct said, is lumen doing lumen stuff.
Absolutely. Anyway, here we go, guys. So we already have our sailing, but it's not a module now. It's a lot of different meshes that can be very annoying to duplicate. So what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna keep a backup of this in case it doesn't work well. I'm gonna select it. I'm gonna check that I have everything. Yes, good. And I'm gonna go in Xform and merge everything. And accept. Here we go. So now we have the module, which is hopefully the same width as our columns. And now I'm gonna back up this applied module. And I'm gonna go back into the Xform and reuse the pattern. That's exciting because after this module, then we're gonna have our finished structure.
Nice.
We're gonna be able to go into lighting. Okay. This is not the right axis and the right count, so let's change it to x-axis. You can check centered, so it goes not centered. Okay, we cannot.
Unreal is being Unreal. It's just like, nope, you're not gonna go right, only left.
Oh, we cannot go negative, but we can still do this. We can rotate it 180.
Outsmarting Unreal.
Yeah. And tweak our extent. Okay, that's good.
It could have been so funny if it went the other way.
Yeah. In the minus. Okay, so I'm gonna reduce the count to maybe 12. I guess it can work. It would not be super accurate here, but in the end we don't really bother with that because we're gonna duplicate it with end on the next. Or if you feel it, you can still do a new lattice. Okay, let's align it straight. Maybe there is one more. 11. Oh, there is 10.
For the spacing mode, if I can allow to give a little tip, instead of by count, there is like packed or something.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Packed. Adjustment. Oh yeah, that's actually better.
Now the adjustment can be 0 for the offset.
Oh yeah, no, it adds if you extend it. That's actually super cool.
Yeah, Pack will use the exact size of the mesh and it will add one just when it's allowed to add one. So I think it's very cool indeed.
And that works. Yeah, that works super cool. Look at that.
Oh,
We
hell
are
yeah.
actually good here. So let's just check it here. Okay, we have a bit too much here, so let's reduce it. I feel like it's still... Oh, we can use both, I guess. Oh no. Oh, it's actually because my starter object is too wide, I guess, because we need to fall in the middle of the pillar.
Yeah, it depends on the pattern you have.
So let's try that. Oh. It wants to go on the left, right? Let's rotate it. 180. That's all I need. Okay, that's still not super good. Extend. Nope. Okay, bro. You know what? I'm gonna try step size. What is step size? Step size would be good if we have the same size between each column.
Yeah. In my case, to be honest, I would like redistribute the columns if needed because the ceiling is kind of more modular or more accurate unless you want for the ceiling to overlap or something. So
Okay, that's good. Look at that.
well,
Fine.
you get it as you always did do.
Thank you, bro. I was just thinking. One thing we could have done to make it maybe faster in terms of the wall thing is do a wall module with like 2 pillars, 1 sailing, and we don't have walls, so just 2 pillars and 1 sailing. You know, so we repeat the wall module with the sailing.
Yeah, that's the way. You gotta do
But
it.
there is always many things, many ways to do things. So just try it, just go with it, and you're gonna do it. There is this weird beam that we can add later with maybe some Quixel assets, because I know there is beams.
This one is cool. It breaks the repetition in the scene, actually.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. And the cables, but I didn't do the cables in my scene. Okay, guys, let's check the camera. And I feel like this is great. I'm gonna add
Nice.
this mannequin and put this one maybe here. Okay, one thing which is not super good is actually the framing here. So I think as you can see on the picture, the camera is much more higher than the mannequin. So let's move it again. Right click, transform, unlock actor. I would go like that. Yeah, I feel like our scale is much more smaller than the picture. So what I would do if I had a lot of time, I would just I would lock my camera first.
To be honest, now
would...
I would not go like full realism in terms of the scale because you've already done that. It's already in your Artstation, but the general work flow on the mood, on the tricks you did for the textures. So at some point you need to show us the material, how you did the lighting, how you did the camera movement. So the faster you go. I'm looking now at the time and I'm looking. Wow, it's been 2 hours.
Right. Yeah. I would just rescale it very quickly and it will do it.
Nice. Oh, nice, nice.
You see, that's actually
Well, you fixed it.
much better. Okay, so let's hide the reference. Let's order a bit our scenes. Because this is very important, guys.
Thank you, Amur. Yes, keep at it, Xav. I just want to say, hey guys, if you're enjoying the stream, I don't know, like, if not double dislike, and tell Xavier, we're not enjoying the stream, bro. No, thank you, Xav.
It might be too long.
No,
We're gonna
it's
try
fine.
to be faster next time.
No, don't be faster next time. This is chill. I just want to say the reason we don't put music is you can put whatever music you want to put. Okay, we're leaving the choice for you. Good stuff.
So
Yeah,
we can now hide the blockout because we are good now. So I would just select the walls for the blockout and check visible.
nice.
So they won't bother us anymore. Because if you hide it with the eye, often if you open the scene again or if you send the scene to someone else, sometimes it's reappearing. And if the guy or if you don't remember what to hide, then you're a bit messy. But yeah, that's cool. Let's make it a bit like this. Okay, so let's go back to our camera. We need just to finish quickly the sailing. What I would do honestly here is just duplicate this one and rotate it myself, because in the end, this is the extremity of the tunnel and you don't really
This is
see
kind of
it.
what I did. I took my same tunnel and I just rotated it since we don't go there. Oh, nice. You're doing it even better.
Yeah, just really quickly, man. The one thing which is we can be bad is that here there can be some light going through, so we're gonna have to check that later with the lighting.
Yeah, you could add like a blocker mesh on top of them.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, let's try like that. Don't forget, guys, if it's something you're not gonna see in the picture, then honestly, just do it quickly, because it's a lot of time.
I want to apply Ian Hubbard logic inside Unreal Engine.
Yeah,
I love that
just do
guy.
it. But yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's cool. If we see the picture, as you remember, there was we can see through the pillars in the extremity, so there is something behind. What I did in my other scene actually is pretty simple. I just took that module and I put it behind. Let's have the snapping. By the way, the shortcut with control actually works with both scale, move, and rotate. You know, it's a bit tricky sometimes, but
Say it again for new people. So hold control, left mouse button, right mouse button.
yeah. So control, and you actually click on left button, right button, or both of them. That's the 3-axis. One thing, as you can see, I changed this. So this is about the pivot. Right now I'm in the world position. That means the axes are not moving. This is the 3-axis we have always the same. But if you rotate an object, then its pivot is rotating, and you can actually get back to its own rotation, which is this button. And now, as you can see, it's in the position of the object.
Nice one.
We just do that quickly. And maybe one more here. And one here. I think we can tackle the light now, because
Fun stuff.
we're gonna need the light to go on with the scene. So let's go back to our camera. Let's hide. Actually, we need the reference, of course, to analyze. The reference is a bit burned out. Let me lower the emissive. Oh, it's actually the lighting that is wrong. So if you check the reference, there is. Let me try to lower the exposition. I think when we tweak the skylight to intensity scale 20 is like too much, of course. Let's get back to our game setting. Okay, now we have a scene which is very lumen looking and very dark. As you can see on the scene, sorry, on the reference picture, there is direct sun coming from the left. There is a very strong indirect light coming from the right. So let's try to reproduce it. As you can see, there is a steep angle for the sun on 4 pillars. That means probably on the left here and on the left in the end, there is something blocking behind the pillars. And here there is nothing because the light is entering. So let's try to reproduce that. Let me show you a shortcut that is very useful. So when you don't see the skylight, not the skylight, the directional light, so your sun, you're not obliged to actually go out of your camera and find the asset and rotate it. Well, if it's in your screen, you can, you see, as here I rotate it with the icon. But something super cool you can do is actually do Control L and hold Control. So you see in the corner of the viewport. Now I'm holding Control and I'm moving the mouse. You can actually move the sun automatically. And the sun is connected to the atmosphere and the 8 fog and everything, so everything is updating real time. So now we see the power of Unreal Engine with its real-time engine.
We see lumining.
Yeah, that's it. I can't really get the thing how I want. Oh, here it goes. That's actually around here, maybe.
I think it might be some mesh blocking. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, a bit. So what we can do, I'm gonna exit the camera. I'm gonna retake my mesh, which is here, and block things here. So we wanted 4 pillars. Let's keep them here. Back to the camera. Let's hide this. If you were really like crazy and perfectionist, you could count the pillars and try to reproduce exactly, but honestly, we don't have time for that right now. So let's try to be straight to the point. I'm gonna select my blockers here. Okay, we really want to block that light, so let's do it like that. I don't like that I see the bottom part here, because in the picture you can't see that. So I'm gonna just increase the size, the scale of the meshes, and I'm gonna try to place them right. Okay, let's keep it for that for now. I think I'm gonna just put this one out. Okay, we are almost there. We are getting 3 pillars. Now we need 4. To simplify my life, I'm gonna do a group with them. We can actually. Here we go. We have our 4 pillars.
That's nice control you have.
Yeah, that's why shortcut is so useful, man. I would just retake this here because there is light entering, as we were afraid of. But it's okay. We just need to either duplicate this and like hide the light to do some shadow here. We don't see this mesh, so in the end, we really don't care about its shape.
This is kind of what we do also in real life when we're shooting a scene. Like we control the light. It depends on the scale of the scene, of course, but yeah. So in Unreal, you can just do it on much bigger scale with superpowers. It doesn't mean you shouldn't. You should do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we do in photography for portraits too, because we can.
Yeah.
we can direct the light to the portrait. Okay, I put it there so the shadow is a bit lower. And now we can even tweak the light again. I'm gonna keep it like that. That look good. Here we have some sky we see over there, so let's duplicate this mesh again. And we see the floor over there, so let's actually duplicate this. Like, after a certain moment when it's far away, you don't need all those meshes, honestly, so what you can do is even ungroup this and delete all of them. Not the pillars, of course, otherwise you're gonna have to do it again.
Yeah, not the pillars.
I'm just gonna use only one and rescale it badly.
Yep.
Because honestly, with the water and everything, we won't see anything. There you go. Good. I see a bit of light coming there. Okay, that's cool. Don't forget to save. We are never out of crash. Here I can see I didn't respect well the picture's spacing between columns, so let's just hide the mistake with some other pillars around here. Because it's even not a mistake here, because on the reference picture, if you look here, you can see some other pillars behind. So we are not too wrong. Just gonna cheat a bit. And here you go. Okay, let's save. One thing which is wrong is we get some sun here. So let's extend our block here. Even our ceiling. Okay, nice. What I'm gonna work on now is the big indirect light we see coming from the right. So for that, I'm gonna do something really, really simple. I'm gonna create a rect light. So you go into here, the little plus with the cube.
We don't see it, but I think if you can add from the window the legacy Unreal Engine actor placer, but it's fine. I mean, keep going if you want. Or I can. It's yeah.
This menu doesn't show neither.
Oh, okay. I think adding light is no problem. So adding rectangular light, but as long as we see the details panel, we good.
Yeah.
So that's how we're adding the light.
Yeah. You can add it by the plus button here in the cube, or you can also add it here in the content browser. There is add button. You can look for light. Oh no, you can't actually. It's okay. You can just put it there in the cube button. There, light and rect light. I'm gonna resize it and boost the power. So let's try 200 or maybe 2000. Of course, you need to increase the attenuation radius, otherwise it won't work. And here we go. We have some light coming for our pillars. Let's do that in the camera so we see exactly where is it lighting. I would put it around here. Let's increase the attenuation radius to 3000 and the light to I think 2000 is overkill. Let's try 800. Okay. One thing which is good to do is actually do the wall length of the pillars. So let's extend it like that. Okay, this is stuck, so we need to write it with the keyboard. Let's try 6,000. Yeah, 6,000 looks good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Amor is saying, starting to look great. You're making some progress, sir. Good stuff.
Thank you so much. A pleasure. Okay, so as you can see, this light is also lighting the floor and all the other meshes that we not necessarily want to be light. So what we're gonna use now is something called the lighting channels. So lighting channels is basically like telling the meshes which lights light them. So for example, if you look for channel here, you can see 0, 1, and 2. Where is my light? Is there? So what we want is light only the pillars and this. So the light gonna be another lighting channel. We're gonna put it on the 1. And we're gonna uncheck the 0. As you can see, if I uncheck the 0, those meshes are not lit up anymore because they are, if you select it, in the 0. If you want to receive the channel 1 lighting from this light, you need to enable the 1 in these meshes. Let's select the light and it doesn't work. What's happening? 0. Okay, that's so weird. That's
That's interesting, right? Wait, what's that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it should work. Channel. Okay, that's interesting.
That's very interesting indeed, yeah.
And this is the kind of thing I did many times and it was always working. This is weird.
Unreal is trolling you.
Yeah, absolutely. What can be causing that?
Are like rectangular lights supports in light channels, do you think? Is it something around
Yeah,
that?
I did it exactly like that in the other scene.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, that's so weird. Let's keep things organized also. We're gonna do like a B lights. Okay, that's so weird. So we're gonna check it offline, guys. We're not gonna lose more time. But that's actually super weird because in the other project I did that and it was working very good. What we can do as a ship way to solve this problem we have is reduce the attenuation radius to 1000.
Yeah, smart.
And well, actually maybe 1600. And actually putting up so it doesn't lit the floor too much. And maybe duplicate it like this. But this is, we're gonna tweak that anyway a bit later when we go on with the lighting and everything. Here there is something not too good. Just for the columns. Yeah, actually not super accurate, but we're gonna try to hide this with the big column from Quixel. Okay, Broski, what do you think?
Looking good.
What we can do also is add the water.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna start giving the mood.
We need the water for sure. And the piles on the
So,
left.
yeah, and the rubbles and all the debris from Quixel. Okay, so to add the water, we can do something very simple. We are very lucky because since they did... what project was that, bro? Like the Habitat 67?
Habitat 67?
When they added this nice water in the engine.
I think it comes with data of math. I'm not sure.
It came with that big project, with all the flying cities.
That's
and
Habitat
the-
67.
Yeah. I actually visited that in Montreal,
Oh.
the real one, which was super great.
Nice.
Okay, so let's do our plane for the water. I'm gonna keep it very simple up.
Sorry.
So for the material we're gonna use, you don't need to keep a scale because the material is actually world aligned. That means it doesn't use UVs. It's always aligned to the world engine, to the world location. So to find that super water material, you have to go into engine, the engine folder in your content, and look for water. As easy as it is. So I think it's this one. Let me open it. I feel like yes, it's okay. This is the material. We need to have an instance.
I think it used to be called pool.
Oh yeah, you're right. This is this one. It's the pool one. So it's called MI, which is material instance underscore pool underscore 02. I'm gonna duplicate it so we start from scratch. And here we go. So it's already looking pretty much watery. Sorry, forgive me, because I guess I tweaked it before.
It's a nice material from the start, to be honest. It's really good. And the material, like the parameters of this material instance are good and easy to use.
Yep, absolutely. So we're gonna keep it like that for now. Okay, what are the next steps? I guess at this point the lighting is starting to be good. We have the water, we have the good scale. We can probably start adding materials. So for the materials, I'm gonna use Quixel. To access Quixel, I'm gonna probably share my screen on the other app, bro. So you click here on the cube plus and you go onto Quixel Bridge.
Okay. Should I show it as well?
Let me. Yeah, you can. Or maybe I can switch my screen.
Yeah, if you can. Be dope. Oh, hello, Beida. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, Obi. How are you? Okay, let me change that to bridge.
Oh, Beida, I hope you're staying hydrated too.
Here we go, guys. And girls. Is there girls in the chat? We need more girls learning in Unreal Engine.
There are actually so many good initiatives from Epic for women in the industry. And I think there is progress there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
On
Need more girls.
people using the new tech, women in the industry.
Great. So once you're in Quixel Bridge, you can either navigate through the collections they have, but I'm pretty straight to the point. I know what I'm looking for, so I'm gonna type for rubble. And here you can see both materials and static meshes. And you can go through the collection. So what we are looking for here is some kind of piles. So here there is one, and if you want to be sure it's gonna be useful to you, you need to look for the size, because most people do the mistake to scale up like very big small assets. And this is making it look bad because the texture is all stretched and the geometry is not good anymore, and the like actually real scale is too stretched. So this one is like very small. I wouldn't pick it right now. I'm looking for something way bigger. I think in the filter you can even look for size here. So you click on the 3 bars and you can look for bigger things like 4 to 8 meters or more. Okay, there is no rebel, so let's check for 4 to 8 meters. There is a few. This one can be nice. So when you download the quality from Quixel, you can choose for low quality, medium quality, high quality, and nanite. Basically, low quality is 1K textures with a low amount of polygons. Medium is 2K, high is 4K, and nanite is probably 8K with some nanite activated. You can even use them in 8K without nanite. So for the sake of the scene, I'm just gonna choose the high quality. It's already downloaded on my computer, so you would have to click here, but for me it's already ready. If you want to look for other robots, you can type for works, like rock pile maybe. And you have other things, so this is no, we don't want that. You can treat the size. Okay, there is not much things. You can look for just works. And then we're not gonna lose too much time here. So I'm gonna show you the assets I downloaded already.
Exactly.
So I go into my local folder. And here are all the assets I downloaded for this scene. So basically I choose a few damaged structure with concrete and bricks, some broken walls, some construction rubbles. This one is small, but I found bigger ones, I think. Like, okay, these are all super small. Okay, this one is way bigger, but it's just sand. What you can do is combine them anyway. In the industrial collection, I found a few nice things like the rusty beam, the rusty metal stand, broken woods. And then you can do the same for the materials. For example, I wanted some nice concrete, like worn concrete, damaged concrete. So here, if you look for something and you are on your local folder, it's gonna look on your local. If you want new materials, you need to go on and look for concrete.
So a variety of textures, assets that are big. So because the scene itself is big and nice. I wish there is more assets in the Quixel Mega Scans. Would you search somewhere else online? Let's say if you were working on project, or if you want to put more time in it, where do you think we could find Rebel assets?
Yeah, there is actually a lot of websites. If you're lucky, you can find it for free sometimes on TurboSquid or CG Trader, but it's mostly selling assets. My go-to website is actually Sketchfab. There is many photo scans that are free and CC0,
Yeah.
so you can use for even commercial projects.
Sketchfab is
the
good.
quality is very Sketchfab is great. The quality is very changing. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes the mesh actually needs a lot of rework. Sometimes they are just for Blender and the texture are not for Unreal. So yeah, you have to. This is a lot of trial and errors and finding something that really works. Okay, so when you downloaded all your things, you go to the local folders, you select all of them, well, the one you want to export to your project, and you click on Add here. So I already did it, I don't gonna click on Add. I'm gonna close Bridge. Actually gonna change my window first. Is it the right one? Yes. And here we go. You have a new folder called Megascans, which is in content. Here, Megascans.
All right.
So inside, everything is divided into decals, surfaces, and 3D assets. I didn't show you decals in Bridge, but it's actually the exact same step as surfaces. Okay, so when you're done with that, when you downloaded everything, one little tip I can give you is activate your filters in the content browser. So instead of going into each folder and putting them one by one, you can actually...
That's pain.
Yeah, if you have like 100 assets, you're not gonna do that. You don't want to do that. So Here you have this little button. You can click on it. It's not gonna show in the live, I guess.
Yeah, it's
But
not showing.
if you go into it,
But talk about it. I'm gonna show it as you're talking about it, and I'm gonna highlight what you mean. Okay.
yeah, you just need to click on material or static mesh, and then you can also go into the material drop down and activate material instances, because the Megascans materials are instances when you download them, and it adds the buttons here.
Yeah. So here I'm showing my screen. When we open the content drawer or content browser, they confuse me. Why do they do this? Just call it content browser. Anyway, when you click on any folder you want, if you want to search for static meshes in that folder, whether on global level like this, I'm selecting the Megascans, or my whole project, show me all the static meshes here, or show me all the textures, and so on. So under the button here, usually you don't have this. If you reset all the filters, it's here on the top left corner. Click the common assets here, like the static mesh, the materials, the skeletal mesh, and so on. And under material, you have material, the material instance, and so on. And you can simply search here, type material instance, and you can select whatever you want. So in this case, let's say static mesh. We type static, and you select the folder you want, and there you go. So it will select all things. Now, if you have assets that don't have a thumbnail, simply select multiple assets or just one and right click. So I'm holding shift, selecting multiple assets. If my keyboard allows me, no, it does not, then right click and it will load these assets, or just one asset, one by one or multiple, and it will load the thumbnails. Now don't select everything and right click, because that might crash your engine, but in 5.4 the performance actually is kind of cool. So yeah, back to you, Xavier. That's everything about the filter stuff. Thank you, that's a good tip.
Thank you, yeah. It was great showing them. Okay, so let's just click on my not 3D assets. Oh yeah, the 3D assets, and let's filter by static mesh. So if you click on the root of this 3D assets folder, every asset is gonna be there. So let's add everything, not the first one because I already added it, and let's drag and drop them. So with everything selected, I'm just gonna put them a bit more far away. Looks like they are not in the right. Oh, just this one. Okay, this one is like super big. That's a bit too much. Let's more of it. Okay, like I was saying earlier, be careful when you scale things, because for example, I'm gonna show you straight. For example, this pile. It looks okay from there, but if you scale it like giant, it's actually not gonna look super good, because as you can see, the texture is not super good. The geometry is not incredible. And it actually doesn't make too much sense that there is big gravels like that. Comparing to a human scale, of course. And the same goes for the other smaller ones. So, okay, I went a bit faster, but actually when you add all the meshes that are all in one, I actually align them. So you know exactly what you have and where to put them, like the size of them.
That's a good one.
And I can show you the example of the wrong scaling with this one, which is very small. Like here, for example, this is bricks. So of course, if you do that with that mesh and you put it somewhere, it's gonna have absolutely no sense, because giant bricks doesn't exist. And the mesh itself actually gonna not look good. So try keep things. You can scale it a bit, but not too much. And same goes with the scaling only one axis. If you're like, oh, I want it to be wide, if you put it like that, it's gonna look terrible. And this shows straight in 3D. You cannot make too much magic with scaling. So I'm gonna look at the reference, which is probably there. And what we can see here is we have mainly debris, like rubble piles there, a bit higher here after the light. Here we have actually a kind of hole with not much. And in the first ground and a bit middle ground, we have some big chunks and industrial maybe stuff. So let's try to reproduce that. What I would do straight is place them in the camera so I know exactly from the angle of the camera how it works. So for this pile of works, I would start putting them here.
Yeah, usually working from one shot, placing things from one shot will save so much time. And instead of building a scene, as you said at the start of the stream, building everything, so many things we will not see, waste additional few days, few hours, few weeks, depending on the scale of the project, on many things we will not see. So working from the camera is definitely something very important. And I kind of forgot doing this on my other project places, the one that's with the brutalist architecture. And I spent weeks placing decals everywhere, 2,700 decals, something total in the project.
Oh my god, yeah, the leaking one for the rain.
Yeah, we see maybe 20. No, not 20, but
Yeah, bro, that's the way to go. You're not making a video game. For a video game environment, it's totally different. You actually need years to think about everything, but for a video, it's really more simple. Here I did. There is one thing I need to do is when I dragged and dropped my meshes here, I actually put them in the water, so on the water. So I need to select all of them and actually lower them because they were flying over the water. After that, it depends on your water. Is it transparent or is it not? If it's not transparent, then you're not gonna bother too much. But of course, it's gonna add some realism if the thing goes into the water. If it's transparent, then absolutely you need of course to make them see through. Okay, for this, I'm gonna add a few stuff that are bothering me. Okay, it's more clear now.
so now it was a process where you spent, I remember a couple of 30 minutes to place all these around, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a long process, and one tip I can give is if you want to go faster, try to not copy assets like this. For example, here you place it there and you copy there again. Because if you don't rotate it, if you don't scale it, if you don't change it, and if you let it aside, it's gonna absolutely show. The repetition gonna show, and it's gonna not look good. So what you need to do is like scale it a bit, like rotate it a bit. One thing you can do also is like actually scaling in the inverse axis. So you can still have it aside, but this one is actually reversed. And we don't see it too much, and then you can lower it a bit. One thing also, be careful with the Quixel assets because some of them, like this one, doesn't have back faces. So if, for example, you place it like that, and then you don't see, but you do that, it's gonna show like a weird transparency and not good side, you know.
Yeah. Something I wish like Quixel assets were more covered.
Yeah, and I saw in the Quixel bridge you can actually filter the one that are closed and the one that are not closed.
Ah, that's good to know.
Closed. Yep. I don't like this huge rock. It looks too much like some sea something. I'm gonna delete it. Okay, this is actually a wood pile, which can be looking good if you really put it as it was floating garbage and not like a wood pile in a forest. So let's just try to hide a bit the main trunks. On this one, you can actually duplicate it and put it a bit more far away. This one can look good in the sun because here we have some light and we want to to exploit that light to create some details and some structure. Okay, this big thing is big too big. Let's reduce it a bit. Okay, now it's useful to maybe stay in the world pivot. Yeah, this is a bit time consuming. There is probably new AI tools that allows you to scatter things very like easily or more fast.
Oh yeah.
I guess I can talk to you about that.
I think this is what makes PCG such a good program. Like if you're talking about building your own tools, and investing some time with the construction script and PCG is something definitely I want to do after every environment I build. It would save so much time, like building the logic when I have a pillar, I have this big asset around it, then the smaller ones, and instead of painting everything and placing things manually. But there is always the balance between how much technical stuff you want to learn, how many times you're gonna create this environment, and if I can reuse the same tools I create for PCG like creatively. So these are the answers or the questions I'm trying to answer. But it doesn't mean like learning PCG to create some tools to scatter items by painting or spline, roads, modular pieces that can sit together. Physics. Well, physics, I tried, it crashes. It's kind of like meh, but yeah, physics is definitely cool. I definitely need to make it work on my computer at least. See how it works.
Yeah, I'm gonna improve, I guess.
Yeah, you've almost finished it.
Yeah,
this is an endless process. I heard something about a quote many years ago. Art is never finished, it's abandoned. So
yeah, that's right. I heard it too. This is a very good quote.
yeah.
And this one, you remember, like finished it is better than done is better than perfect.
There is that.
Yeah, we're gonna go back a bit to working on lighting because I feel like it's not good.
Yeah, lighting is always welcome. It's always interesting. The placement of the meshes, I think, this is also looks like a cool variant. So I think once we see the lights, it will unveil a little more.
Yeah. There is a little tips I use sometimes also is when you're here and you're placing your thing, you can to exit the camera, and with the C key you can zoom, so you know exactly if the mesh is showing or not.
That's a nice one.
It's I don't think it's C key because I changed the shortcut. I think it's like Z because I have a other T keyboard, so I need to change shortcut sometimes.
Yeah,
It's like zoom,
Z and
zoom in,
X.
zoom out.
Let me double check.
Yeah.
So you said C. Yeah, it's C and Z to zoom out. C, sorry, to change, to zoom in. Not zoom in, actually, it's changing the field of view. So very cool. Back to you.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay, I think we're gonna call it a day with the meshes because it can be like really time consuming to make it perfect. But you got it, guys. You just tweak until it looks good, until it looks like the reference. We're gonna have to make a tweak on the materials also a bit later because they are not equal right now. The lighting is not good, but you don't see much the materials, but they are very different, and we need to equal them up.
So the lighting, what would you do here? How would you improve on the scene in its current state? What makes you feel something is off with the light? Is it the fog or is it the intensity in general?
Yeah, I guess the main thing that makes it look a bit like video game is the fog. There is way too much fog and it's not placed right. Also, we don't have materials on the pillar, so let's just basically put them very quickly. Some with the shortcuts we showed. We're gonna close set surfaces. Okay, we can just put some. Try to find quickly like a concrete material that's gonna look okay. Okay, the UV is stretched, so we're gonna try to reset it. Okay, this one is looking good. If you want to change all of your instances material at once, you open your static mesh and you put the material inside the static mesh, and you save it, and now it should change all at once. Yeah. Okay, but I applied the white material in the beginning, so of course they are all white now. But if I reset it to what's in the static mesh that I just added, it has concrete. Okay, let's add it here on the wall too. Okay, this UV is completely broken, but we're gonna. Okay, let's do it right now. So let's select, for example, this mesh. Go back to the modeling tools. We can go into the attributes. No, it's not the attributes. It's UVs. We have something here. Okay, we need to merge it first. So I'm just gonna keep it as a backup here. And this one, I'm gonna merge it. Like we showed before, like Xform merge, accept. Once it's merged, we can actually go back to the UVs and select Auto UV. We let it compile shaders a few seconds. Welcome back.
Thank you, Yahiya, to bring some water.
Okay, let's wait for the shader. I'm gonna drink a bit. I didn't drink yet.
So are you editing the UVs or what you're doing?
Yeah, so I merged after backing up the sailing modules.
Oh yeah.
So I could have the UVs to edit, and then I did a auto UV. We're gonna see if it's good or not. It looks really broken for now. So let's.
It looks like PlayStation 1.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like a fucking PS6. It can be good if your project is like low poly and moody for the time. Okay, let's try it again. Let's do some project UVs maybe. We can use a box as a projection. I feel like it's stretched here, so...
Yeah, changing the dimensions of the box with the...
Oh yeah, you're right. Absolutely, bro. So, okay, yeah. You can tweak the axis here, the dimension of the box until you're happy with the UVs. I guess it should be one button to proportional dimension. Oh, that's to change all of them at once. Okay, let's try to. Okay, let's see like that. Oh, looks okay.
Looks good, yeah.
Yep, looks okay for me. By the way, these are I think it's 4K materials. 4K, yes. It's not the 8K. It's the 4K.
Nice normals.
Okay. If you have really like a super close-up shot on something, you can use the 8K. Otherwise, it's overkill. You're gonna kill your RAM and all of your RAM.
Yeah, 4K should be good.
Yeah, it takes a lot of space too.
Yes.
Oh, bro, we forgot to bevel that.
Oh yeah. Show the bevel. Let's go.
Do it quickly. So in photorealism, there is actually one thing that really changes a lot what you see and makes it more realistic is the bevel. So right here you see it's just a cube, very sharp, and it can show in the picture, in the render. So just doing the bevel is actually gonna make it way better. I'm gonna try to remember where is it. So I think you have to go into polygroup edit. Yes, there is bevel here, but you need to first select all the edges. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna uncheck the vertices here, uncheck the faces because we want only the edges. And then when edges is selected there, we're gonna click on select all. And we have all of them. And now we can click on bevel. Now we need to set up the bevel. Yeah. They improved it a lot because like in the 5.2 there was like it was crazy. You had to do it like one step by one step.
I think the bevel is this one is specific to 5.4. I was reading last week, so they added bevel and some new operations. This is amazing.
Yeah. So here I added 3 subdivisions. I feel like it's way enough, but a bevel needs to be very discreet, like very shy, if I can say, because if it's too big, you're gonna see it straight. It needs to be like really for the light to wrap up around the edge. Here you can see that the UVs are wrong now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna accept the bevel and or if we should just pass out or just do the UVs again, project UV.
I don't think you click on accept, or maybe it didn't take it for the bevel.
I think yes, it's actually there.
Are you sure? Can you click wireframe? Yeah, I think it's there. Yes. It's the PlayStation graphics, sometimes cheating on me.
We should do some kind of basics project. Okay, let's try to make a straight box because I feel like everything is stretched. Okay, so yeah, you would need to take a bit more time to tweak it. Sometimes it's good to align the face and rotate them. But yeah, we don't have too much time right now, so let's just accept it as it is.
It's going good. So what are you working on next?
Okay, yeah, this one should be... wait, let me just change this UV because it's showing in the foreground, in the first ground, so it's important. Project UV, okay, let's do that automatically. That's great. Don't forget to save everything. And let's go back to our scene. We were talking about the lighting, which was not super good. So let's try to tweak it a bit, make it a bit better. Gonna duplicate this and rotate it and scale it down. Just to hide the big concrete border there. Okay, that's cool. Okay, about the light. So of course you can see the texture is repeating. We would need to spend more time in the UVs. Tweaking the light. So let's see what's wrong. Like we said earlier, the fog is...
Sorry for interruption, but for the texture repetition, did you try the UV quick offset or some of the tools? Perhaps you can showcase it here real quick.
So the main reason it's repeating is because here we still have the instance.
I know,
so they are basically all the same.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's why.
So, but we can do it. Like, for example, to solve this problem, we need to apply the instance like we did for other meshes. So I'm just gonna back up this one like we did. Oh, not this one. Where is this one? Okay.
One easy solution is rotating them individually, but that would take some time.
Yeah, and in the end you can still have the same texture because the pillar is the same UV. So what I'm gonna do, go back to modeling. I guess we can. Wait, yes, we have to merge it. Accept. And then we can do split. So this time, it's gonna take each individual part of the mesh that are separated, and it's gonna make them alone, like alone meshes.
Wow,
see here.
nice. So it's like explode.
One issue it does is that it centered the pivot of everything. So if you want to
Oops.
rotate this pillar, for example, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna not be easy. So you can still do Xform, edit pivot, place it in the bottom here, accept, but you have to do it for every pillar.
That sucks. I wish there is a way to automate doing that to as many
Yeah, I
static
didn't
meshes.
find it. I looked for it last time and I didn't find to do that on all of them. Anyway, now what I often do is that I just go into my materials. I select the same material, I duplicate it, and I call it like, for example, B. I assign it, and now what we can do. Okay, you're not gonna see. Maybe here you can show. But if you check tiling in the Quixel instance settings, you have an offset case that you can tweak. So for example, as you can see here, he's tweaking it.
So let me quickly show that. You're talking about any Quixel material, right? Like the concrete, for example. Okay. So here I have this texture. If we open it, so any Quixel material, if you go to global, we have tiling offset. If you enable this, we can tile things on X and Y. So we can put like 0.5, 0.5, or 2 by 2, or it depends to make them tile on the surface. So 0.5 should be okay. Depends. My keyboard decided to stop, thank you very much. And we also have offset, where we can create multiple material instances and play with the offset. So there are many ways to create variants. Back to you, Xavier.
Yeah, thank you, bro. So what I just did here is I duplicated the instance like many times. I call them A, B, C, D. And then what you can also do is assign them, for example, the B to many pillars, but not the close ones, the far away ones. So it doesn't really show in the end if there is 3 or 4 difference. Just what shows is when they are close to each other. And one of the instances can be actually tweaked a bit on the Y tiling, so it's a bit more like it changed the for example this round thing that is very visible. If you tweak it, if you duplicate the mesh and you tweak it, it's gonna show higher or it's gonna show in a different way. So that's gonna break the repetition. And then you can add them on everything that is repeating. So I'm not gonna do it right now, but you would need to go to merge every time and apply a different material and everything.
Nice, thank you.
No problem. Okay, what's next?
Would it be lighting?
Yeah, we can tweak a bit more the light. So if I analyze my reference, what's better than us? First, he has a nice glowing light around
the God
the
rays
center.
feel.
Yeah, and some bloom and everything that we're gonna add a bit later in the post process. But one thing that I see is that his scene is way less dark than us. That we need first, I think, to really set right the exposure of our scene, so we can tweak the the sunlight well first, and then the skylight, and then everything. So let's do it. I would say in your post-process, I didn't do it in the beginning, but I often do it straight when I do a scene. Is I go into the exposure and I choose the basic, not the auto exposure histogram. So I do the basic and I let me see. Because if you're a bit experienced in Unreal and you already tried a lot of their projects, like every sun they have in every project is completely different. For example, I don't know if the plugin is enabled, but if you look for the sun and sky, oh yeah, I have it, sun and sky. I just added the sun and sky blueprint. If you go into the blueprint in the sun and sky directional light, the intensity is crazy. It's actually 75,000 lux.
Yeah.
And I've read somewhere that it's like more close to the natural power of the sun.
That's right. This is the physically accurate value of the sun. On like a normal day, it can go from 75,000 to 150,000 lux. Just let me, if possible, to share with the audience how to enable the plugin, the sun position calculator.
Sure.
So if you go to edit plugins, or if you start your project from the virtual production and the arts phase, I think, you're gonna have the sun position calculator plugin enabled. And this one is special because it simulates the real sun in terms of intensity. As you saw, it's by default set to 75,000 lux. And the latitude and longitude. So when you go to, once you enable it, you go to create menu, go to lights, sun and sky, click and drag. And yeah, this is one actor. And inside it, there are the components. There are these actors where we have the sun and sky, the directional light, the sky atmosphere, the volumetric cloud, all these guys in one blueprint, in one plugin. And when you click on the plugin, you can change the latitude, longitude, the time zone, and so on to simulate the real location of the sun on morning and sunset and so on. Now, it's all white because in my post-process volume, I need to change my exposure settings from whatever I am using. So if we go to lens, exposure, yeah, I need to reduce the compensation. But in my case, I don't want the physical sun, so I'm gonna save and get out of here. So back to you, Xavier.
Thank you, Ro. Thanks for showing.
Cheers.
Yeah, so there is no one thing to do in every scene, like one way. You can do whatever you want if you know how to take the exposure. So basically, we're gonna start from that. In the post-process volume, you're gonna go into the exposure. You're gonna select the auto exposure basic, and we're gonna put 0. So we are on 0. In here, you need to be sure. Oh, can you show, bro? In the lit, you need to be sure game settings is checked because you can tweak also the exposure there.
Yeah. So, give me a second. And instead of adding post-process volume, or if you want something real quick, you can disable the game settings and then change the exposure value EV100 to whatever value you prefer from here. This will work only in your 3D viewport. It will not work when you press on play. If you want the exposure to be consistent, you must add a post-process volume. For a quick, nice little cute solution, cheat, quick, you can disable this stuff here and play with the value here to get the exposure value you want. Back to you, my man.
Thank you, Yahiya. Okay, so we are back in the post-process. We choose 0. And now we see that the scene is a bit dark. So there is many things that that plays on the global exposition of global illumination, of lumen. There is the skylight, there is probably the sky atmosphere, the directional light, and also, which is not known often, but the exponential light fog. So if I boost the fog, you're gonna feel like the scene is more light up, but it's not in the end. It's just an illusion. It's just the pixel of the fog lighting up. So and it's not gonna look super realistic. So we're gonna lower that. And actually, let me tweak the fog because the scene, if you see the reference, there is no blue. So I'm not sure if it's a tweak, like a color grading by the photographer artist, or if the end of the day sunset is actually making it a bit more yellowish, a bit more warm. But let's try to just reproduce it. In the exponential 8 fog, I boosted it a bit just to see more clear. You can go into the fog in scattering color. And if you lower it, or if you change the color, it's actually gonna color the fog in your scene. So I would go for a bit more orangey color here. Just for now, just to get rid of the blue.
Nice.
It's a bit orange. Yeah, it's a bit hard to tweak.
Yeah, there is so much art direction and like trying multiple settings until you reach the correct value based on your sun direction, the lighting in your scene, and so on. So usually they are a little interesting to tweak. We are getting into the 3 hours mark, Exav, and I want to ask you, how do you feel? Are you good? Are you tired? Did you eat today? Did you drink anything?
Yeah, I just drank some water, so I'm pretty much good, bro.
Guys,
and we are going to the end, so it's still motivating.
5 minutes
to go
before
on.
the call, Xavier was like this and is eating. And bro, I should have eat before the live. So, my man, I want you, if possible. I don't want to take more of your time. You know, I'm very, very, very grateful for you joining us today and blessing us with your knowledge and how you create these environments. What were the steps between here and your finished scene? Perhaps if you can share the screen again on your finished scene and tell us on like what you have done in general, so we can wrap up the stream soon. And of course, we can take any questions from the chat if there is anything, as you explain, on the difference for anyone who's following who reached this point and this point here. Wow, by the way.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Okay, so this is a bit too much exposure.
This lumen, by the
Let's
way,
lower
here with not the path tracing.
Yes,
Dude,
this
it looks
is
good.
literally-
Yeah, path racing looks amazing for sure, but Lumen 2 looks good. Damn.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so there is, of course, a big work in the materials. I probably spent 1 to 2 hours tricking just the materials. What I did basically is, so Megascans, when you download their materials from Bridge, it adds a master material. So for those who don't know about master materials, it's about like one main materials that has parameters, and every other materials that you make as a child of this material are linked to it and as inherits from its parameters. So I duplicated the main master material of Megascans for all of those meshes, the concrete and the piles and everything, and I lowered the saturation. So it created the illusion that every color of those static meshes on the floor are almost the same like tint, because I can even show you if I tweak okay, if I tweak the master material I modified, you're gonna see straight. Okay, it's here. Look at that. You're gonna see straight that some objects are more tinted than other ones. Okay, it's just because I added a tint node and a saturation and a hue, so of course it's not gonna look like the real color, but you can see they are different. And desaturating them is actually making them look almost equal. So let me try back. Okay, 0 to 0. Okay, this was the original meshes with their original textures. As you can see, there is some gray, there is some like woodish color, there is some pink with the bricks. And if you desaturate them, you get like something almost same.
Because we cannot see the material, let me real quick show the audience what exactly you mentioned, if that's fine. So let me open the engine. So here I'm gonna show you an example, guys. This is one of the Megascan's assets, and it's a pillar. And in Xavier case, what he was talking about, all these assets, when you open the material instance and you go to the albedo, you can see the albedo tint. And this is one of the parameters that you can adjust to match assets to each other. Like some of them might be a little pink, some of them so the albedo tint and the albedo controls. We have the saturation, brightness, and contrast. So all these are very important when we are trying to mix different types of assets that comes from Megascans together so they can match in terms of the tone. And you can also duplicate the material like I have here in this case and simply tint it with an extreme color where I have in my scene, for example, this effect. So I have, I can assign the normal texture or the other texture that looks like this, and I can simply as well tint this to any, or let's give it a hue, to any color I like. And this is extreme example, but what if you do it on very subtle way? So it depends. It's all art direction, and this is one of the reasons I like Unreal Engine. We can get to see everything we're doing in real time as it happens, So back to you, Xavier.
Yeah, that's you said it greatly, bro. That's all the power of real time. And yeah, it depends on your art direction, what you want to see. If you want a more cartoony scene with some more colors and everything. To wrap up the
this
breakdown
effect here,
of
by the way,
final...
sorry, zoom in. Like, wow, this Gadre effect, wow.
Oh yeah, this one is fun. So yeah, to wrap up with that, basically I tweaked all the materials one by one, and with the master material, like we explained. For the pillars, I did a
So
small
that's how you
version of
did
the pillar.
it.
Yeah.
Nice one.
So yeah, and basically I rotated them and I tweaked the materials. So if you see my materials, I have actually a lot of different same concrete ones with different tint and different rotation. So that's how I did them.
Nice. I wondered,
I
how did he
also-
do this? Like, did he use decals? Like, did he use different UVs? Nice one, nice.
Yeah, talking of decals, I also use decals here. So there is one thing wrong with the modeling tools is that the UVs are like weird on the cylinder because they are on top of each other. So the decals on the side is getting wrong. But what I did is I tried to hide where it is wrong, like with rotating the box of the decal and everything. So in the end, it looks okay.
Nice.
For the God Ray, what I did is I duplicated the light. So I put a rect light here, as you can see. And on this one especially, I boosted up the volumetric scattering intensity.
Okay.
And depending on its attenuation radius, we can boost up the effect of the fog or not.
Nice.
So this one is for the fog that is a bit wrapping up the light entrance. And I also have another light, which is this one, which is way more precise. It's for the actual God rays that are seeing from far away. You see this one?
Yeah, yeah.
And this one, I use the rect light. Thank you, bro. and I extended its barn door length. So basically, the barn door is for cutting the light, like for directing it in a very square way.
Nice, nice.
And this is the same. I boosted up the volumetric
It's
scattering
like a
intensity.
beam.
Yeah.
You know, I just
Like
want
the
to add
beam.
another comment. Outside, it feels like a whole different scene and it's like something surreal. If you go to outside and look, just go outside on the left. Yeah. This is like
Yeah, you're right.
something else and like, damn.
With the pillars
Yeah,
there.
it's like, so what a happy accident. You've created two projects by mistake.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
We should do another live.
Honestly, it's so good.
That's great.
Same here too, yeah.
And yeah, and I tweaked the water, of course. I gave it a bit of color. I gave it transparency. I tried to make it not too agitated to reproduce the photography, which is very calm.
You know, your end result looks so good, and I'm glad you showed us the process. So you can say one of the secrets that you're seeing here looks really good is the materials. Is that correct? Would you add anything?
Yeah, but honestly, every step in its own is very important, because in the end, it's a wall. If you have great materials but your lighting is shit, then the material is gonna look shit.
Yeah. True story.
So yeah, that's
oh, true
there
story.
is
Oh, I know.
there is the b-vol here. I tweaked the normal map also of the materials. Like I boosted it a bit in the instance to make it a bit more like contrasty and bumpy.
Nice, nice. Looking good. I really love that effect, the God rays. Honestly, I'm like, I wonder why I didn't do it with Lumen, but so this is the Lumen version. Can you show us the path tracing version? Is it the same or?
Sure. It's slightly better. It is more contrasty. And I especially like the grain of the offline renders. Honestly, this is really love for me. It reminds me photography. I love to put grain in my photography.
You know what I like about the path tracing is the water effect. It felt just so much nicer compared to mine. It even got me jelly, but it's okay.
Yeah, in Lumen it creates a weird reflection, like the gray effect.
Yes. You know, both looks good, and for sorry for interruption, but for me personally, I would actually let's ask chat, guys, which is your favorite, the path traced image or the Lumen image from the scene here with Xavier? Let's start to pull around this. So wait a second. Sorry for interruptions, Xavier, but yeah.
No problem, bro.
Start pull.
I actually had an issue with rendering the water because it gets it doesn't get blurry with the depth of field of the camera.
Sorry, I'm just writing a pull. I remember
yeah,
the issues you had, but you're telling people here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to answer writing, but yeah, we can answer. The difference between path tracing and Lumen is actually how the lights bounce everywhere. So path tracing is way more futuristic, realistic
in terms of the GI,
but much more demanding in terms of performance and time. That's why Lumen is also faster.
Yes, I think when you go with path tracing, you get it's like a fact. You get much more accurate global illumination, and the reflections, of course, you get like unparalleled reflections. And if we're talking about translucent objects, no need to talk about it. So that's the main difference. This is Lumen version here, right?
Yep.
Nice.
You know, some grain.
Something about Lumen, I think you may need to cheat with any console commands, but when you are near the lights and the volumetrics, you can see the volumes, and it's amazing. From here we don't see it, and that's like massive difference. And I wonder if we see the same volumetric effect in lumen and path tracing if we are near the light source.
Let me try.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, you're right. But I think there is a
console
command
for that.
Yeah,
please find it.
Do you know it? I think it can even be tweaked in the light.
Some sort of like light distance.
Yeah.
It used to be like the cascade shadow stuff, but I'm not sure anymore.
I know if you boost the attenuation radius, it's you can actually see it, but it also changed what sometimes what you don't want.
Yes, there is a question from Valen Alvarez. I think you may address it already. But what's the difference between path tracing and big quality lumen? Path tracing and big quality lumen. Do you want to take it? Like talk about it?
High quality. Yes. I just answered it. Like path tracing is using more like more ways to calculate the light more accurately. So that's why it takes more time, but it's also way more realistic.
Yeah. Well, in a nutshell, path tracing will never also work for real-time applications. So
maybe in 10 years with the last NVIDIA.
Much less. I give NVIDIA 1 year, 2 years.
Let's check. Let's see that with the AI, maybe they're gonna find some super DLSS path tracing renderer real time. I don't know.
With 5 trillion triangles, translucent objects.
We're gonna get to it at one point.
So most people like the lumen scene. It got 70% votes so far versus path tracing, but I think also maybe because they didn't see the path tracing. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm the one who put the vote. Otherwise, the vote is hiding the chat. Anyway, that's it. I don't think there is other stuff to say.
Yes.
Like
thank you so much.
Yeah, the materials, the fog. The framing also plays a big role, like your camera.
Yes.
Your focal length. Because for example here, I did a wide one, but if you do like that, of course it's very different than the framing I have with the other camera. Much less interesting.
Yeah, that's right. It's amazing, man. Yeah. Thank you so much for this, Xavier. I really enjoyed today's session. I want to see like how can I perhaps share my screen so we can wrap up this together.
Yep.
Is this working as intended or not? I don't know. I need maybe next time try StreamYard or something to stream, see how this will go. But what I want to show on my screen, so is this working? I think it is. Hopefully it is. What about the quality though? Actually, let me just switch to my screen and put us on the side.
Your scene is also great because it has a very urban vibe. Like reminds me Half-Life 2, the sewers.
Yeah, man.
With the graffiti and everything. Like this is a great vibe.
Thank you. For me, I was too lazy to achieve the most accurate thing to like the reference, so I wanted to, again, as I said, match this color, the red. I got this t-shirt. Okay, so look.
It adds a good
I had
boost.
so much fun building this, to be honest, and I love like kit bashing Quixel assets together. And like nowadays, I'm taking my phone to start do more photogrammetry, and I'm experimenting a lot with geosplats. So I just want to building. My next challenge actually is like if I look from here, and I was thinking, what if I scan some walls, some pavements, some streets, and like stitch them together? What would happen? Because that's exactly what we did here, right? Both of us, we started from the same block out, cylinders, wall meshes, Quixel assets, and for me, I just went, okay, I want to create something, so any excuse I can make for my failure on making something as beautiful and as close to the reference as you. So let me put that again here. Really good job. Maybe in the next stream you want to tell us a little bit about the camera movement, but I will let you to go to eat soon.
Yeah, we could do a stream about the sequencer and making a nice short movie.
Yeah, we should definitely move the conversation to Discord and our next environment that we plan together. I think we discussed Half-Life, we discussed Mirror's Edge, we discussed multiple references, but we can take that, put it on Discord, and let everyone watching know, and see we can do it together. So, what do you think?
Yeah, people could even like do a poll and decide what they want to see. Like, it can be a good challenge.
Hell yeah. We can
So yeah,
practice together.
that's amazing.
So guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's stream. I hope you learned something, and I look forward to see your urban underpass project. So I posted all the links in the description. You can find Xavier on Artstation. You can find me on Artstation, Instagram, both of us, and everything. And Xavier, do you have anything to add? Where people can find you other than the links I put? I'm learning how to co-host stuff, so
yeah.
I'm glad also to have you
on Instagram, on YouTube, Instagram, like all the links are like a bit everywhere on my station. Like, you can find it easily. And if I have one last thing to say is, like, go on, man. Like, if you wanna create 3D and progress, just do it as often as you can, and don't quit, because the slope is hard in the beginning, but when you start to master the first tools, then you can go very, very much faster, and you can be more motivated without losing too much energy. So yeah, don't quit. Just go on and create your dreams, guys and girls.
Thank you, man. That's a good one. For me, really, like, sometimes I look at where I am today, and because of so much practice we do, you're able to finish this like really fast. I would never imagine finishing this really fast many years ago. But I'm really grateful that the industry is like with Epic Games and what they're doing, putting all these assets, all these resources and everything for free, where anyone wants to build worlds, they can, hey, just Lumen just works, everything is for free, so anyone can do this. I hope anyone who can do this after watching today, if you want to give Unreal Engine or world building a shot. So I know so many people who work like in the industry we do, like, let's say from my case, architecture. And for many, many years we've been using Unreal, but no one have thought about like, hey, I want just to use these simple block outs and these simple nice Quixel assets to create something. I really had so much fun doing this, something slightly away from architecture, what I do on like daily basis, just for the fun. Just do something without looking, is this the exact centimeter I want? Is this the exact dimensions? So it has been a pleasure. Give it a shot, guys. Try to open Unreal.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
This is so good.
You can, wow.
I'm gonna make it like a Panavision.
You should definitely post this on Instagram. So I shared your Insta. Make another Artstation post. This is cool, dude. Pano.
Look at that. I'm gonna make it like Panavision, super wide.
Oh, nice one. That can be an entrance, and then you go from like this surreal, unreal world, something to place that is interesting.
Yeah, we can definitely extend it and create a total new random project.
Hell yeah. So let me see if there is any questions in the chat. Where is chat?
Camel Bay. So Lumen is not the old way of lighting. It's actually very new. They introduced it in the 5 alpha. And video games demand like to be very optimized. because path tracing is too demanding in terms of performance. So Lumen is actually a very great alternative to realistic lighting. It's like it's done for that. It's done to try to reproduce high quality lighting, but for video games, if I can say it like that.
Yes, you can.
It's actually the future, I guess.
It is. With now, actually, in 5.4, we saw Lumen support. It's experimental for mobile phones. With what's happening in Unreal, like I think this is a whole just different stream about the future of Unreal and how Lumen, Nanite, the real-time tessellation, where you export like all these coming together to build like photoreal worlds with high performance. So they all come together. It's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw an example of like the real-time tessellation is very cool because you don't need to export high poly meshes from your digital content creation tools. If you set up the correct workflow where you gonna tessellate your objects in engine to get the extra fine detail and so on. Dude, that's a quick, nice block out you've done there.
I just play with it
Nice.
for the end.
All right.
Yeah, let's wrap it up, bro.
All right. So everyone, thank you so much for your attention today, for being here, and Xavier, you, especially you, thank you so much for your
Thanks to
time.
you, bro.
And
Thanks so much, guys.
I don't have anything to say except for stay hydrated, finish your water. That's good. And keep on creating. I finished my water.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
And let us know if you liked the stream. It's a bit long, but I guess we can learn a lot on these long streams.
Oh yes.
And it was actually fun for us, so let us know.
Thank you so much, Xavier. Have a wonderful evening. Everyone, have a wonderful day, evening, morning, afternoon. And as Xavier said, if you have any comments, any feedback, do let us know at the comments on this video or join us on Discord. And we gonna announce the next stream soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. So thank you so much and have a beautiful day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. See you.
Thank you so much. JB Rux, can I blend tessellated mesh with distance-based texture tile?
I don't know, we have to try. I don't think so.
I have my doubts around that, but you can tessellate stuff, blending tessellations. That's the whole purpose.
I know.
I need to try it. We need to try it. Okay. Take questions soon. So take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Xav.
See you too. See you.
See you.